Trigger warning for mentions of sexual assault, mentions of child sexual abuse material, mentions of grooming, and mentions of pedophilia. That is all. Hello. Before I start the video, I want to do a small disclaimer. I do not support or condone harassment to anyone shown or depicted in this video, especially Shiper. Do not send them hate or threats or whatever. Like, I don't need you to defend me or my right or my honor or whatever. I can do all that myself. And I want to keep this whole thing civil and respectful because that's what I stand for and believe in. And I don't think anything good is going to come from just slinging or spreading hate towards anyone involved, you know? So just try to keep that in mind. So, I'm just gonna go right into it. Someone by the name of Shiper released a video claiming a lot of stuff about me. And I'm just gonna go over everything he said and just comment, or I don't want to say defend, but just give some extra context or information for anything said. And then that's it. That's it. That's all. So, first off, he starts with like a big montage or whatever of screenshots. By the way, I'm not gonna comment on anything involving anyone else. I'm only gonna comment on the screenshots that have me in them. Now the first one says, "Have you ever?" or is me saying, "Have you ever heard of systemic oppression?" And someone replies, "Systemic dit in my mouth." Uh, I don't know what that's supposed to say about me. That's all there is to that one. Next is it the one where she's a futa? That looks pretty bad for me. Um, Basically, for context, someone was talking about having flashbacks of a video, and then Virgil replies, "That vid of Miku masturbating?" Um, so I started thinking of that image of Miku and Teto that was going around, where Teto's the futa. And I replied basically just saying, the one where she's a futa? That's all there is to that one. The next one is, I looked naked too, don't worry. This one is taken extremely out of context. It's me saying, this server looks so ugly without the role icons. Why is her name still Envy looks naked? Because he doesn't have his role icon. So I said he looks naked. And he said, you didn't have to point that out. I don't know, but let's not question it, in reply to why is her name still. And then I reply to him saying, you didn't have to point that out with, I look naked too, don't worry. Because I also don't have a role icon anymore. And then he replies, at least you got a server tag. Which is kind of funny because the screenshot's now outdated because he's the one with the server tag and I took it off of that account. Yeah, next screenshot is me saying I'm going to rip you. And my friend also saying that. I don't really want to defend this one because I don't condone those kind of jokes anymore. I don't make those kind of jokes anymore. But just for some extra context, we were playing a game. You can see because there's a little chat icon at the top. Because this is the text chat for the voice channel. And basically, the joke is that we were playing for a while. I was like, let's play 99 Nights. And then my friend was like, oh, I actually gotta go. We can play tomorrow. And then while he was typing that, I was saying stuff like, because, like, I love you. And then I immediately reply, I'm going to repeat with the joke, making that, the contrast of going from all sweet and saying, like, I love you to saying that. Um, it's not really funny, but that is the context. Moving on. This one's really bad. Y'all wanna see my cock? Um, Atrocious, but taken extremely out of context. And conveniently, I have the context right here. Basically, I said that. I only got one reply, which was no, and then I wasn't able to finish the joke. So I just left it there because, it doesn't really work. Um, and then a few minutes later, someone replies to me with the screenshot of me saying that, and then I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to do the punchline. And then I send a spoiler image of a chicken. That was the joke. That was the whole joke. I was just gonna say, hey, y'all wanna see my cock? And then I was hoping someone would say yes, and then I send a picture of a chicken. But because no one said yes, I didn't send the picture of the chicken, so there's just that awful screenshot of me saying, y'all wanna see my cock? Now, next up, he basically just shows a screenshot of a group chat, and he's like calling me out or whatever, and then he's like, she's taking this pedo stuff so lightly or whatever. And the reason is because he didn't say any of that, or at least he didn't show proof or anything. He just says that I'm Baccarat, which, like, if someone goes up to you and says, and starts, like, accusing you of being fucking Epstein, right? Are you gonna take that person seriously? No. He also doesn't show the full context of what he's saying, because, again, that works really bad for me, but he's not showing any evidence or anything, because he doesn't have any evidence, because I didn't do anything that he's claiming that I did. Um, hey, this is me, like, 5 minutes after recording. I completely forgot to bring something up. Um, One of the reasons why I thought it was so ridiculous that he would claim that I'm Baccarat is because I'm one of her victims. Dude, I have two screenshots specifically that'll put on screen. Yeah, I don't know why he would assume I'm Baccarat, considering I was, like, trying to help with that whole situation, you know? It's just weird. I'm gonna show what he says. Before that, he says, I want you to know that I am taking you down. I have the screenshots, the proof of you being a racist Satanist who talks about CP. I have all of the evidence, you can't deny it, and if you leave this group chat, it will only make things worse for you. You do not pose a threat to me, and I will end your career at Scarlet. Also, proof of your friend showing CP in your little hidden server. You can't hide stuff from me, Baccarat, Scarlet, whoever you are. I'm onto you. So you can leave the GC if you want, but I'll have dirt on you no matter what persona you have. And are you really going to take that seriously? Because I don't know about you, but I think I would know if I had CP or anything, right? I'm also not racist. um I don't know where the racism allegations or whatever are coming from, because I'm literally black. Like, and I'm not saying black people or people of color can't be racist, because they can to other races, but I don't speak ill of other races or my own. As for the Satanist part, this is where a lot of people have a problem with me or dislike me, or is the reason why they don't like me. And this is mainly from just misinformation or assuming. And I am not nearly smart enough to explain the whole thing in this, like, small video. So I'm gonna read off something from Columbia Magazine. This is from La Carmina, a graduate of Columbia College and Yale Law School. They are an award winning blogger, journalist, and author. Her most recent publication, The Little Book of Satanism, is a fascinating historical and cultural guide to Satanism and a spiritual defense of the often misunderstood religion. Your book debunks a lot of common myths about Satanism, but perhaps the most important one to understand is that modern Satanists don't actually worship the devil. If that's so, what do Satanists believe? This is La Carmina's response. Exactly right. There are many different kinds of Satanists, but most don't actually believe in Satan and don't worship him as either a god or a force of evil. For the most part, Satanists are non theists, which just means atheists or non religious, and view Satanism as a personal liberation from traditional theistic beliefs. Theistic just means religious. We value nonconformity and revolt against the ideas of superstition and arbitrary authority. Modern Satanists are non-violent and interested in the pursuit of reason, justice, and truth. This is back to the interviewer. Why use Satan then? Certainly a controversial idea or figure. And then this is her response. Essentially, Satan is a metaphor. We believe in the historical idea of Lucifer as a light bringer, a principled rebel angel willing to stand up against arbitrary rules or authority. In Western countries in particular, Christianity is so dominant. Many people who identify as Satanists were raised in religious, restrictive households and made to feel oppressed because they were different in some way. So, by using Satan as a symbol, we're taking it back and making it our own. I grew up in a religious household with a very religious and abusive mother. So, obviously, I'm not going to be the biggest fan of religion. And, you know, the philosophy that directly goes against religion um, is going to speak to me, you know? And if you're a religious person, I'm not against you and I don't hate you because that's what you believe in. And I'm fine with what you believe in. As long as you're not hurting anyone or supporting anything that does hurt anyone, I'm fine with you and what you believe in. Because the things I believe in aren't against anyone and don't harm anyone, you know? Okay, I actually had some of these out of order. So we're gonna look at the one where it's like, imagine like someone cuts off your arms and, um, I don't really have a defense for this. It's just me saying something random and freaky, trying to be funny. Um, it's not really funny. Um, I don't know. But it's also not pedophilic or like harmful in any way. It's just me saying something random and freaky. So I don't know why it's in this like expose video cuz I don't hide that part of myself or deny saying those things. Like people have shown me that screenshot and be like, "Is this you?" I've been like, "Yeah, that's me." You know? This next one is me saying, "I want to suck Sukuna's man teddies." Again, I don't know how this is supposed to prove that I'm a pedophile or that I have child sexual abuse material or anything, because it doesn't. um I want to penetrate that sexy silver-haired swordsman. That one is just me talking about Kashi. It's just me saying I want to penetrate Kashi. Again, I don't understand how this is supposed to prove anything. You know, he says all this shit about me and then is like, shows all these screenshots, but he doesn't actually prove anything, you know? So it's honestly just confusing to me. Anyways, I think that's everything. Um, everything addressed in the video. If I'm wrong, I probably won't make a follow up. If he drops a part two, I probably won't drop a follow up video because, again, I don't want to turn this into like a big whole drama thing. I just wanted to debunk some of the things he said. Well, almost everything he said, because again, he showed all these screenshots, but no context and no proof of anything. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so that's all. Don't send him any hate or harassment or whatever. I don't condone that. Um, and I hope we can just move past all of this. As for why I left the server, by the way, I left it because someone, I knew he was gonna drop a video on me. I didn't know it was gonna be tonight. And someone who is close to me was like, hey, if that happens or whatever, I'm gonna be caught in the crossfire. And I don't want to become the crossfire fire. So I was like, okay, you know what? This is my friend. I don't want bad things to happen to my friend or my friend's reputation or whatever to be ruined because of me. So I tried to distance myself from the server in hopes that, um, he would just drop the video or whatever. My friend wouldn't have to deal with that. And he just dropped it anyways, thinking I left the server because I was stressed out or whatever because of the video. Which, to anyone who actually knows me or has seen any of the stuff I've said, I am not going to leave because I'm getting harassment or because people don't like me. That whole thing about me being tired was complete bullshit. Like, none of that gets to me. None of that's ever gotten to me. I just sleep it off because, who cares if they're hating? Because I'm happy doing what I'm doing and I want to spread happiness. I want to make people more um inclusive. I want to make everything more inclusive. Obviously not to like weirdos like pedophiles or zoophiles or anything, but mainly I just wanted to make the server a safer place for what I'm trying to say is I wanted to make the server more inclusive to people who weren't already a part of the server or weren't recognized as a large group in the server. That's why I added the global chat, for example, because I saw a couple French people asking, like, hey, can we have a French chat or whatever? And, why not? Like, so why not just make a global chat for anyone who doesn't speak Spanish, Portuguese, or English? That's what fueled a lot of my actions, like adding the gay emojis, making the server icon a pride flag, all that stuff. Anyways, Shaper, I hope we can make peace. I hope all this just, you know, leave it all behind, whatever, metaphor, buzzword. Um, Goodbye, good night. I'm probably not gonna go to sleep. It's like 2 in the morning and I slept for like 5 hours. So yeah, I'm gonna go drink a root beer and play Pokemon. Good night.